Hey guys, Flippin' Landlord Ninja here,
Kevin the Property Prince.
and we are two guys take on real estate. So, what are we talking about again today?
We're going to talk about what everybody calls me around the office.
Pain in the ass?
Yeah, that's one of the things. That's actually one of the nicer things people call me around the office. But everybody refers to me as just a general...
Pest.
Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about pest control today.
Yeah, so check your local ordinances because every state and maybe even city would differ.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a good advice. Seek legal counsel, get familiar with your local laws. But, here where we do most of our work in Massachusetts, the onus is pretty much always on the landlord to make sure that the home is free of pests and infestation.
Yeah, so I mean, one thing we do with our single-family homes is we actually put that onus on the tenant because, well, guess what? They're the only ones who really can cause the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different in a single-family home than it is with a multi-family home where everybody's going to point to each other. Oh, it was their problem. They're the ones that caused the bugs or the mice or whatever it might be.
Exactly.
But with a single-family home, I mean, who are you going to point the finger at? I mean, don't get me wrong. They're going to still try to blame the landlord. They will still try to blame you.
But, true,
Yeah.
But with your two families and up, once, like Kevin said, it's hard to put blame on any one of the tenants, and especially when you're in front of a judge. They're going to basically look at you and say, well, what are you doing to take care of it?
Absolutely. It just falls into the responsibilities that a landlord is stuck with, and it's usually spelled out in some kind of state sanitary code anyway. So we have developed a practice that has been actually just awesome. We work with a phenomenal local pest control service.
Yep, Jeff, New King Street, Pest Control. Thank you, Jeff.
Are we putting it in?
We're putting it up in here, like somewhere.
Okay, right in there. So yeah, New King Street Pest Control. He's an awesome local provider.
Yep.
And we love that. One of the best things that we do that we love about this practice is the notation and the documentation that these services provide. So I mean, Matt, maybe you could tell us a little bit more about what we get with that when he does a service.
Sure. So Jeff does a phenomenal job. So he kind of creates that whole report from a professional and giving his take on the condition of the unit, if they were prepared, pictures and documentation of how everything was, and what he did to treat it, and what he's done on a repeated basis, and when he treated it last, and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Do you have any idea of how many times that stuff has literally just saved our butts in courts when we pursue a tenant who is just being a deadbeat, not paying anything, and basically will turn around in court the last second and say, well, I shouldn't have to pay any of the money that I owe these guys. I've had to deal with bugs. I've got mice. I have, children living in my home. I've got children there, and they're getting eaten, by bugs and mice and rats and everything, and it's their fault.
Yep. I mean, it happens all the time.
What do we do? We pull out the stack.
Boom.
I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely fantastic. Some of these people, some of these tenants will have rented from us for a year or two, a couple of years maybe. And they'll make these claims that they've had these issues all along, and we do nothing. Again, my favorite, the landlord no fix nothing. I mean, that's what you hear all the time. We literally pull this stuff out, and it's quarterly, and we're one of the only guys that people that do this around here.
Management companies.
Exactly, and that do it quarterly. Whether they contact us or not, whether they report an issue or not, every single one of our apartments gets a mandatory quarterly service. We want to make sure
in our multifamilies.
In our multifamilies,
right.
Absolutely right. But we want to make sure a small problem that you might not even know about as a tenant doesn't develop into a larger problem.
Correct. I mean, so one of the other issues besides cockroaches and mice that's been kind of coming back are...
bed bugs.
Yes.
And they freaking suck. That's the worst.
They are expensive to get rid of.
Yeah.
But, once again, having quarterly service and having a professional in there, on a routine basis, he'll catch it hopefully sooner.
Yeah.
And then you can resolve it before it becomes really bad and infesting your whole building, which can cost you thousands and thousands.
I mean, I'm laughing, but that's just because I don't have any other option. You can only the sheer ignorance of how to prevent this kind of stuff is just amazing. I mean, it's one thing to have that issue come into your home, and it can come in a variety of ways. So I don't really fault people too much for that. But
right,
man, the amount of times in a 3-family house we've resolved someone's bed bug problem. Like, it's not ours. We did not cause bed bugs, right? We didn't do it. We put the bill for it.
Right.
And then they've spread it to their upstairs neighbor that they're friends with, their third floor neighbor. So the first floor has it. We clean up that mess, but it's already spread to the third floor because they go up and hang out, watch TV, drink, do whatever it is that they're all doing together all day. And now the third floor has a bed bug problem. And guess who they're calling?
It's on us. Yep.
Yep, calling us. And then, believe it or not, what happens later? The first floor has it again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it can be devastating. Having a good, again, reliable company, but documenting the heck out of this. After they keep getting it reinfested, after you've done all of your treatments and all that kind of stuff, you can start putting the blame squarely where these things belong, on the people causing the problem.
I mean, and just I don't want to get into it too much, but even our exterminator has told us how he's found that there's actually a black market for getting bed bugs. So someone will actually buy a bed bug to bring into the house to then, not pay their rent or whatever it might be. It's
absolutely
crazy.
Right. It's absolutely right. And please don't think we're just paranoid landlords. We have been through these types of, yes, experienced landlords. But no, we've been through this kind of stuff. People absolutely do these types of things. Don't fall victim to this stuff. Don't ignore these problems. Catch them while they're small. Insist on tenant cooperation with them, and that's a huge part of what we do.
Right. So I want to kind of go on. We didn't always have this practice. We actually kind of instituted it after a specific event, and I want to talk a little bit about that.
That's a good one.
So a number of years ago, we had a 6-family building, and we had a tenant in the first floor unit, and she was causing problems, wasn't paying rent, whatever. We were going through the normal process. She never really let us in, never reported any problems, and we finally had to evict her. Sheriff went in, posted notice, did all that kind of stuff, did all the proper documentation, and then we got to, the final day, and I actually showed up to make sure she was out and everyone was out there. We changed the locks. If you have to, you put all the stuff in a moving truck. So the sheriff goes to open the door, and he's like, "Nope, turn right around. All trash. All trash." Oh my God, it was insane.
So bad. So bad.
So I still had, the problem was there were a lot of open windows. So they had left. They had vacated, but they had left windows open, everything like that. So I had to...
I'm feeling itchy just talking about this.
So I had to get in there and make the property secure. There was so much clothes and trash and all this stuff around. So I'm like trudging and climbing over stuff and trying to get to the windows. And all of a sudden, like, the walls were moving. I'm not joking. They were moving. It was disgusting. I had cockroaches all over me. It was... So either way, I locked it up. I got the heck out of there. We, had people put suits on. We trashed it out. I think it was like 2 30-yard dumpsters or something like that. It was an insane amount of trash. This is a 4-bedroom apartment. It was pretty big size, but got everything out. So we then sent the exterminator there. Poor Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Jeff.
You should
I
have just
apologize.
literally nuked that one.
Well, we did. With nuking street.
Yeah, I know, but actually detonated a bomb in this place.
True. And so we sent Jeff in there, and our landscaper was out mowing the lawn.
I was hoping you were going to remember this part. Yeah.
And he said, as Jeff was using the stuff, the cockroaches were like lemmings coming out of that front door. The grass was, he was like mowing them. He's like, they were all getting caught. Oh, it's disgusting. So after multiple treatments, and unfortunately, they actually went to all the rest of the units, 6 families, so all of them had to be treated.
Oh, neighboring
and the neighboring 3-family and stuff like that. So everything was killed. We went back in the apartment. We had someone sweep up all the dead bugs. Mm-hmm. We had a 13-gallon trash bag filled with dead bugs.
A kitchen trash bag. Think of your kitchen, your kitchen trash bin. Yep. Literally, they're there sweeping and taking a dustpan, just shoveling piles of actual just dead bugs.
Yep. It was disgusting.
And that's just the stuff they were sweeping up. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah. So.
But anyway, wow. What else do we have? So I do want to, without going too long in this video, I do want to, give you just a general practice that everybody should have. Everybody should absolutely have this practice. We have multi-family houses. We have apartments. We have single-family houses. Every time you're at a property, I was just at one today to reset a circuit breaker. We've talked about that kind of thing in other videos, but I was just at a property today. There was a pile of bags at the rear exit door of one of the apartments. And I, instead of just ignoring it or even just taking a picture of it and maybe going back to the office, getting a notice sent out and sending it, I did take a picture because I wanted to document it. That's incredibly important because later when they start claiming they have pest issues, that's a huge reason, of course you have pest issues. You have trash. I mean, bags of trash out behind your house.
But Kevin, didn't they just put that out there? They're going to come out any second right
That's
now,
exactly
aren't they?
what this bonehead said. I mean, so I don't pass the door. I take a picture and I absolutely knock on the door. I mean, sometimes you have to knock like you're the police. I mean, you're really knocking. This lady eventually stumbled out and, she's like, what? I was like, these are recyclables. I'm like, well, recyclables still have, residue of food and everything on it. And one of the bags was clearly not recyclables. In fact, it had holes all in it. And there's a piece of moldy bread falling out of it. It was trash. And so, she gives me the first excuse. Oh, it's just recyclables. Well, no, it's not. Here's this trash. Oh, well, I just put it out. I said, okay, well, it never goes here. It never goes here. It goes from your kitchen trash or whatever it is into the green or the dumpster or the green trash bins, wherever. And, it's only been out there a little while. I'm like, well, you're going to draw a pest to your property. You're going to have a pest issue. Look, there's already been something nibbling at the bag. Oh, no, that hole was there. I mean, as if that matters. You're already doing something wrong. Just do the right thing. Say, sorry, you're absolutely right. I'll take care of it right now, and I won't do it again. But, and then she said, of course, I already had mice this whole time, so this isn't going to bring me pests. I said, okay. So we put this on notice. We look at the information, the background on this stuff. And, we'll put it on her file. And later, eventually, when this stuff all ends up as part of her eviction and part of her counterclaims, we're going to be able to show, we did quarterly exterminations. She wasn't prepared for them. She didn't want to let the guy in. She rescheduled. Yep. She didn't clean. He'll have notes in there about the conditions in the apartment. Grease everywhere. Grease is freaking disgusting. People leave. They don't clean their stoves. Like, of course you're going to get pests.
Yep.
And and then we're going to have notes and pictures showing this kind of thing. So eventually, when push comes to shove, maybe we'll never have an issue. And a lot of people are great, and they really don't have issues. Yeah. Maybe they did just leave a bag of trash, and you just happen to see it that one time.
True. I mean, having a hole in the bag, I highly doubt, but
yeah, no, it's usually habitual, and it's good to catch it. It's you have to take the opportunity, coach the tenant. You don't have to get mad at people and scream and yell at them.
No.
Tell them what they're doing wrong. Tell them why they're doing it wrong, and then tell them what's in it for them if they do it the right way. A clean, pest-free home for not just them, but their neighbors all around them.
Exactly. So it's kind of wrapping it up. We highly recommend checking into some kind of routine maintenance. Pest control maintenance.
Yep.
And I think that will really help save your properties and make it a better homes for all your tenants.
Better homes. You're going to have less cost if you catch small problems before they become big problems, and then later when you do have to deal with folks, you'll have counterclaims come out of nowhere. These are defenses for upcoming counterclaims that you are trying to anticipate.
So we actually are 50 subscribers. So woo! Thank you guys.
50.
So hey, it's a start. So let's help get to 100. So please hit that subscribe button.
And share with your friends. Harass them. Tell them, do Kevin a favor and click on his videos.
Yeah.
But no, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. Don't make us beg. We're begging.
Well, I think we are begging.
Pretty much begging at this point. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Help us out.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Good luck.